What's up, everybody? Ben Rasa and Lofty here for Odd Chopper, and we are back talking all things NBA. We're going to build a little same game parlay. We've been doing this each and every week. We've had some success, and more importantly, we've had some fun. If you are new to the channel, hit that like button. Welcome aboard. It's good to have you guys. We got a lot of new faces rolling in. This is the place to be. And if you enjoy this type of content, if you want picks and VODs and tutorials, hit that subscribe button. We have a ton of content for Super Bowl, NBA, March Madness will be here soon enough, and we have you covered. Lofty, we've got a lot of games tonight. I know there's a lot of options. And I always say this to Aton, just because we have some big games doesn't mean that's where the best value is. Sometimes it's a couple of bad teams where we see the best betting angles.
Yeah, I prefer to live in that range a lot of the times too. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones that are off the radar. And I think you can also take advantage of things. If you know these teams and players well enough, you can take advantage of the spots where certain teams have a lot of key players out, like the Pacers, who we'll get to, without Brogdon, without Sabonis, without Miles Turner, without Goga Bitadze, who was the primary backup and playing really well at center. I mean, they're dismantled right now, but they're facing a terrible Orlando team at home.
So bad. And it's true. What I will say before we dive into play, we are filming this in the morning. NBA changes rapidly. You want to keep up with the news here at the Awesemo Network. We have you covered, but keep that in mind. Make sure to check out Odd Chopper. Those projections update in real time as injury news rolls in. But we have made a little three-leg. Here we go. It's all in the Pacers game. We're going to start with what I think is the easiest leg. Pacers money line. They're 4.5-point favorite. We need them to just win the game in this parlay. They're not a great team. You already said this, but you know what? 13-13 at home. They're in the midst of a little homestand here. Orlando is just awful. 6-23 on the road. Their roster is obviously devoid of talent, and even with the missing guys, I think that the Pacers will do enough, particularly from the outside. And we're going to talk about some of the three-point defense. I'm going to take the Pacers to get us started. Not even going to lay the points. I'll be very conservative here. I do think that they win this game. I feel good about starting with that.
I like that. And I will say too, Ben, if you're not if you wanted to change this up a little bit, you're watching this, maybe like the second and third one, you want to change it up a little bit. I also don't hate the over here if you're looking for just a total or a side or a total or a money line, because the Pacers defense, they have a 118 defensive rating over the last month. I mean, just outright dreadful. But Orlando's terrible as well. Defensively, they've been marginally better lately, but both of these teams should cough up a lot of points, even if they're not particularly elite offenses either. You look at the totals in these games, the Pacers are coughing up such an insane amount of points right now, but they're also keeping pace in a number of these games too. So 223.5 is really not a crazy number to potentially just fly over tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, digging into the Pacers box scores, we have seen multiple games where both teams are hanging like 120 plus. You told me before the show against Charlotte, they gave up 158 points.
Still scored 126 too.
That's what I'm
right?
saying. Like, there's some massive opportunities there. And I'm on board with leaning over, because as we get into the second leg of this parlay, we've got the Pacers on the board. You like LeVert, who is one of the only guys remaining in terms of the core, to be a distributor tonight, over 5.5 assists. Talk to me about that. Is it just because you like a lot of points in the game? Is it something with Orlando's defense? Why are we going over there?
It's both, right?
Okay.
So LeVert's played 239 minutes without Sabonis and Brogdon. I'm not including Turner in that. It's kind of irrelevant, but this season it's not a huge sample, but it's enough to give you a decent idea. And even if you didn't have those numbers, you would just intrinsically know that he is going to be involved a lot as a distributor. 32% assist rate in this case, or 32% assist rate here with them out. And let's also not forget that the guy in this situation that actually had the highest assist rate, particularly because he plays off the bench, was TJ McConnell. He would play a lot of minutes here, but he hasn't played since the start of December. So when you look throughout this team, Ben, tell me, who else on the Pacers is going to be distributing the basketball and really bringing the ball up the court and running the offense? You want to talk about like 15 minutes from Lance Stevenson, fine. Jeremy Lamb, maybe a little bit of that. But it really is Caris LeVert in a spot like this that should get every opportunity to fly past that number. And last time we saw him just a couple days ago against the Clippers, 36 minutes, and the minutes are big too, right? There's even if you're not that good of a player, give me as many minutes as I can get, and you just have more opportunities for these assists. 9 assists last game without Sabonis and Brogdon. I think you can get easily cruise over 5.5 today.
Yeah, and of course, one of the keys and one of the things we talk about all the time with these same game parlays, your second leg is helping the Pacers win the game. The more he distributes, the more all assists, of course, are converted buckets, the more the Pacers are probable to win. So we're pulling the same way there. Obviously, some correlation. We pay for it in price, but not every 3-leg parlay needs to be 15-1. This is a good one here. Now we round it out. To me, this is the most interesting.
Ben, let me say something real quick?
Please.
If you're looking to make some longer shot bets, right, and you're more so worried about just hitting one of these every week or so, because the longer the odds get, the much harder it's going to be, and you're just hoping to hit you hit one out of 5 with longer odds than this, and you're still having a good week. But
yes,
if you want, go over 6.5 assists if you want to bump it up a little bit. I honestly don't think that's crazy. I'm more comfortable with 5.5, but I don't think LeVert getting to 7 assists or even 8 assists today is crazy at all.
So one of the great things about same game parlays is the sliders, and what I mean by that is you have the option to kind of pick your number. You could go over 6.5, you could go over 7.5, you could lay the points with the Pacers. All of these are going to change the odds. It's just a risk tolerance problem, and obviously our projections will bake that in and show you the true odds of some of these parlays. We've got the Pacers money line. We've got LeVert over 5.5 assists. We're going with Chris Duarte to make at least 2 threes, a pair of threes. He's not a high volume 3-point shooter, but I'm going to take the obvious points and then I'll pass it to you. One, if Caris LeVert does in fact have 7, 8, 9 assists, you have to think that some of those are going to be 2 3-point shooters. So that's a good thing. Orlando, 27th in the league in 3-point percentage defense, over 36%. That is pretty poor. So I think the opportunities will be there. And then the final point, it's just a volume thing. When Duarte shoots, he's fine. It's not like he's a terrible 3-point shooter by any stretch. He can make them. It's just the question of Luffy, will he take them?
And you pointed it out. Yeah, one of the highest 3-point percentages allowed in the league is the Orlando Magic this year. And if you actually look at the teams that have been worse than them, it's by a very, very small number, like 0.3%, right? So they're arguably tied as the worst, right? If we want to get serious about it. Duarte's averaging 5 3-point attempts per game. That volume has come down a little bit, and last game he only attempted one of them, but he's a 35% 3-point shooter. That, as you pointed out, that's not terrible. You're just hoping to get enough volume there, and I think in a spot like this you will. Also, as you pointed out, the more assists that you're getting from LeVert, the more you're going to see from Duarte, and I just don't think that two 3-pointers is at all out of the range of possibility. Not only that, he's gonna hit him. He's gonna hit him.
I like that.
He's gonna hit him. Nah, I'm just going a little bit overboard here. But when you look at Duarte, he's still averaging 5 on the season. So you can't just look at his last couple games and be like, oh, well, he stopped shooting threes. Of course not. If he gets up 5 or 6 of them today against a bad Orlando defense in a game that I actually think will play at a pretty fast pace because neither of these teams can stop each other, they're going to need the score, then trying to get 2+ threes is a solid one. So I like it a lot. Plus, who else really shoots threes on this team at a high clip?
Yeah, I mean, you can put Holiday in there, but the odds are slashed to me too aggressively. The difference between Duarte 2+ and Holiday 2+ was over 100 points. Like you're not even getting 2-1. You slide Holiday in there. So to me, Duarte is the move there. We're at plus 295 for this bet. I'm comfortable with that because, again, if in fact Orlando is that bad defensively, they're probably going to lose the game. LeVert clearly should be the floor general, and that's just going to obviously help guys like Duarte. You already said you leaned over in the game. If the Pacers eclipse their team total, and they probably will if the game goes over, barring something really crazy, these props are undervalued based on that. They're all pulling the same direction.
I like it. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, whether it's money line, total, whichever one you want. Yeah. And like you said, yeah, we're taking the total. You got LeVert over assist. You got Duarte threes. You could go Pacers total over their total. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I like this today, and I don't think either of us are concerned about either of the defenses. It's more so just can two pretty anemic offenses, especially a banged up Pacers one, get the job done? And that's always the trouble that you run into. So really, you're sacrificing elite talent for much elevated usage, which is what you're going to get with a Duarte and a Caris LeVert, given that Sabonis and Brogdon and Turner and everybody else is out. So you're just hoping that they can be even somewhat efficient, and you're going to get there.
There we have it. We got Pacers money line over 5.5 assists for Caris LeVert, and we're going to round it out with Chris Duarte, 2+ threes plus 295. For me, Lofty, the entire team at Odd Shopper. Good luck tonight. Hit us in the comments. Which leg do you like? Which leg would you add? You like the over as well? We want to know what you are betting tonight. But stay tuned, of course, for more VODs here on the Odd Shopper channel. Hit that like button on the way out. Good luck. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you guys soon.